In this video, I'd like to talk about one of the most popular technical indicators, the MACD, also known as MACD, which stands for Moving Average Convergence Divergence. Now, this is really popular momentum indicator. If you remember from the training videos, I showed you momentum based on a rocket, how a rocket, the trend is strong in the beginning and then it peters out over time and then reverses. Well, that's what momentum is measuring, the strength of the trend. So let's look at how the MACD shows us the strength of the trend. So we've got a chart here today of Bank of America, and these are 2-minute candles. Today is December 20th, 2017. So Bank of America opened up, it gapped up and came down. And I don't trade or take signals for the first 10 minutes of trading. So here's what we see, and we see that the MAC indicator, MACD, is down here, and what we want to see for signals is a crossover on the top area, way towards the top or way towards the bottom. So let me show you. The crossover happens not there where it just touches, but right there where it actually crosses over. The white line, the faster moving exponential moving average, crosses over the slower moving exponential moving average. And so you get a sell short signal right there at about almost 10.15, about 10.10. And the price is going to be about 29.70, more or less, to sell short. 10.13, let's call it. Okay, so if we enter a position to sell short, then it would have been a very nice trade. It doesn't tell us to get out of the trade until you get a crossover again, right there. Now, if you want to get out just because you think it's the end of the trade, you can do that. But that's where it officially is the signal right there. Okay, and the price would have been right about 29.55, 53, something like that. Okay, so that's would have been a very nice trade of about 17 cents, more or less. You also get a buy signal at the same time you get a signal to get out. So you could have flipped around and bought it right there at, we'll call it 29.55. And let's see what happens. Well, the move doesn't move that strongly, comes back a little bit. Depending on where you put your stop loss, that might have stopped you out. But basically, it gets to be around lunchtime, and you see this kind of action here. Those are not buy or sell signals, okay? That's choppiness. That's what you get at lunchtime, and that's not really a good signal for the MACD or for any other oscillator. Okay, so depending on what you could have done, you could have maybe just got out of that position or held it through and see what happens. But my point is that based on the oscillator, those aren't very good moves. Okay, here's another signal, comes later in the lunch hour, right about there. Comes kind of late in the move, if you ask me. But it's about 12.50. The price would have been about 29.56. Okay. And then you don't get a sell signal till right here, which is about 29.60. So you only made a few cents on that. Still part of the lunch hour, really. Okay, well, you get a sell short signal also. And it would have come right about 29.60. And then the signal to cover would be right about now at 29.50. You don't quite get the crossover, but if it did, that's where your signal is to get out, 29.50. So you would have made 10 cents there on the trade, more or less. So you'll see that MACD works pretty well. It is a little bit late sometimes in the signals, but it does confirm the signal when it's sure it's the right signal as best it can, that the trend has changed. So you get less signals, but you get a late signal a little bit based on that. For example, the exact low was right here, but you don't get the signal till way up there. Okay, so that's what you need to know about MACD. First off, is that it is good. It does show the trend, but it shows it a little bit late. Okay, it also works really well when a stock is trending in good swing moves. And you do see that in Bank of America this morning and this afternoon. Not so much right at lunchtime like I showed you. Let me show you another stock where it didn't do it very well today. And that would be American Airlines. And I'm going to pull up a 2-minute chart of American Airlines. And you'll see the signals aren't very good today for American. So let me go back to the open. Right there. Okay, first off, you notice we're really close to the center line. You don't want to place trades and enter it as a signal unless you're towards the top or really low towards the bottom as a signal. So even though you do get a signal right there, I wouldn't be trusting any of this chop. It's just choppy, flat, sideways trading. That's what you need to know about momentum indicators. They don't give good signals if the stock is going sideways, if it's mainly flat in a fairly tight range. MACD and other momentum indicators don't give good signals. Okay, so let's see here. It's 10:45. I don't know if I would have called that a signal or not. Would have chopped you in and out possibly right there. But okay, if you did get in right there, I would probably not have, because I'd still assume it's choppiness. But if you did, you would have gotten in at a good time because it ended up trending up. But in general, you can't forecast that coming, and I wouldn't have traded that probably, just based on the indicator. Okay. If you did get in, there would be your spot to get out, and you can see that it would have been a pretty good spot to have closed the trade, seeing that momentum is ending on this. So if you took something else as an entry signal, this still would have given you a good exit signal, but not a very good entry signal. So this kind of shows you that technical indicators are not perfect. And that's why it's good to use the stock chart itself as signals, as well as support and resistance, and maybe one other technical indicator that's not momentum based. Okay, like other momentum indicators are stochastics and the momentum indicator and RSI, which is relative strength index. There are other indicators that are momentum, I'm sure, but you don't want to use another momentum indicator because you've already got one. Use another indicator based on something else and use the stock chart, and just realize that it's not perfect. It's not going to give you 100% correct signals. So you still have to use wisdom and educated judgment when you use these indicators of any type. And you need to know, like I said, when they work and when they don't. So when the stock is trending, works great. When it's not trending very much and you just have a flat, choppy day, it doesn't work so well. Definitely, in most cases, it's not a good time to trade using these momentum indicators at lunchtime, because usually things fall off around lunchtime. Wasn't so much the case today in American Airlines, but usually it is, so I wouldn't be using it around lunchtime. So just be aware of that. This is how you use the MACD. You use the crossovers, and you also can use the horizontal and the vertical, the red bars to the bottom side versus the upside. That's also the signal too. It can help you see it there as well. So just be aware of that, and I hope that helps you, and we'll get in some other technical indicators in other videos. This is Greg Kilpack with Trader to Be, and I hope that helps. Have a great day. Good luck in your trading.